fucking 2 hours earlier than normal is a totally different world. It's like the difference between going to work at 6:30 and 8:30. It's the wake and bake. Oh, stop. All right. So, walking down the street right now, heading to my delivery vehicle. Had a safety meeting. Passed fucking 3 humans while I was walking. The first human didn't say anything because he was asleep on his back next to a tree. And I walked past him. Didn't disturb him. I didn't have shit foot today, so there's no disturbance there, no hindrance in the atmosphere. So I go past. We'll name the first guy. We'll name him Zach. And so then we come up, and this is kind of what even made me want to say anything about it. It was because the sleeping guy, all I thought about whenever I passed him was that at any time of day, I can find a sleeping guy downtown. You know what I mean? And usually within a couple of blocks. So, wasn't surprised. But as I walked a little further, there was a fair maiden standing. Just like, I wonder sometimes if prostitutes know what they're doing. I mean, I know that they've been told some of these tricks, and it's ingrained in them. But it's like she said good morning, and she had the traffic lights behind her, and she had some tattoos, and just her arm was showing, but she was wearing like a dress, and it looked like her hair was even pinned up nicely. Like it didn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like the sirens, the mermaids. Like what the fuck is a hot chick out here swimming for? You know what I mean? But like, I'm in fucking walk mode. So, and I'm in deep thought mode, so I'm not gonna fall for it. But, dude, like, maybe 20-year-old me would have. Now that I'm 27, I'm way smarter. But, yeah, it was. So she says good morning, and I'm like, morning, because I'm not rude. And I walk past her, and I get like 5 steps, and she says, do you have a cigarette? And I said no, sorry. Maybe I just said no and kept walking. I don't know. I think I said no, sorry. Probably not. If I just said no. But, and that's whenever it dawned on me. I was like, dude, do you have a cigarette? Is like the classic. You know what I mean? Besides already having a cigarette and asking for a light. Because that's what gentlemen do, is they light the lady's cigarette. And so, whenever they're like, you have a cigarette? Then a gentleman, a guy in a tie with a fedora on, says, why, sure, sweetheart. Right here. Big boss. And he pulls a cigarette out of his little fucking lighter case, and he puts it in her mouth, and then he puts one in his mouth, and then he lights both of their cigarettes, and then he looks deeply into her eyes as he takes the first puff, as in total amazement that she exists. Because her pheromones have captivated you. So, that's what she was going for, whether she meant to or not. And what's crazy is that, I've noticed it's not like it's a new crop, because I don't know if I have ever talked about it before on the... No, I probably didn't. But, no, never mind. During my hiatus, this happened. There was this really pretty prostitute down the street from the Buckstein's Mattress Emporium. And she looked like somebody that I've known. You know what I mean? She looked like a familiar person. And what's even crazier is, now that I'm recollecting her in my mind, is she reminds me of one of the Ashley, Mary Kate creep twins. The fucking the Heath Ledger murderers. One of them. Anyways, there's a noise-making person somewhere in these walls. I hear a rattling where I ought not. Oh no, never mind. It's like repair guys. Anyways, this prostitute. Well, I don't think she was always a prostitute, but Liberty and I passed her recently, and we were at a stoplight, and this blonde prostitute, we'll just call her Mary. We'll give her that name. And this, by the way, that other chick, the siren from earlier in my story, her name, we'll call her Catherine. Okay. She's got I swear she had a hippie crown thing going. But anyway, let's go back to Mary here. So Mary is walking by. She's got no shoes on, but she has a cute dress on. But it's kind of hiked up, like a sundress. And she's pulling up so you can see her thighs, which for a prostitute, she has really nice legs. But and I think that's her move. But she's walking barefoot in a place where I would not even want to drop anything that matters to me other than the soles of my feet. I wouldn't even set a backpack down because it's probably got piss on it if I did. But I see her, and my dog is with me, and she's barking, and she doesn't like people walking by my car. And Liberty goes, "Ooh, she likes you," when I look. And the prostitute's looking at me. And she does this, a guppy mouth thing. And I've never had a person seriously make that face, but she did it very intent and seriously. And Liberty goes, "Oh, did she just give you a blowjob face?" And I was like, "What? That's what, like, how many times have I missed that? That's a blowjob face? Fuck. That's how easy it is to get a $20 blowjob? Is you just wait for the neon blowjob sign to come out of her face?" But, yeah, that's what happened. And so it was kind of one of those funny things where I was just like, wow. But I'd seen this gal before. I didn't think she was a prostitute. She walked by the mattress factory, and I couldn't tell if she, like, because I was sitting from a distance, and I went out like the gate to see if because she didn't look like she belonged in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? You know, there's a certain neighborhood where certain girls, and she had like really nice hair, and so I looked to make sure she was okay. Like maybe she was just a crazy bum, and she's not as innocent looking as I thought. But as I look, her boyfriend, I guess, he's like this 9-foot, like, tall basketball playing dude. I mean, he had to have been at some time. He's like 9 feet tall, but he's like a big gray alien. And he like lurks off, and like she walks by him, and then like scurries up next to him like a critter, you know, like a little sidekick critter. And I was like, whoa, that's that's his gerbil, you know. And then he's like, really? What's up? And so then I was like really confused, because I was like, if she is a prostitute, he should be trying to sell her to me, not fight her, or fight me over her. So that's whenever I was like, okay, so she's not a prostitute. But then yeah, it's like she still is a prostitute. Well, now she is, for sure, because she's doing the blowjob face. That's what they do when they're for sale. What is that? Oh, hey. Well, anyways, the third guy I passed was a kook. He looked like he was picking up cans, but he was acting like a weirdo. Like his drugs were kicked in, and he was acting like a fool. And then he had to walk by me, and that's whenever fucking he realized that he was being a weirdo, a kook, and he's tried to act normal for like 5 seconds. But even a tweaker that tries to act normal for 5 seconds has to stop and pick up some fucking weird, you know, they have to invent a thing to do. And so he pirouettes on his heel and picks up something out of the gutter, some microscopic or invisible doubloon, and then puts it in his pocket, like, oh, there's where I found my invisible leprechaun hat. And he put it in his pocket, and then he walked by with his eyes bugged out at me, like, nothing to see here. And I believed him.
This is the hell that I stepped in.
Listen to this and other great songs by Buck Stein and Slam Yates on the new album, Reservoir Murders. Not Reservoir, it's Reservoir. It's looking and quaking and murdering. Easter basket? What's in your Easter basket?